Hi, welcome back to Feel Good Club. My name is Anik, and I'm so honored to have you here. We're going to do some back bends today, which is super exciting because I love back bends. We're going to start off today with just a seated position. You can use blocks if you'd like for it, but feel free to not use blocks if you'd like as well. So these blocks can just be left to the side for now. We're going to keep the spine nice and straight, hands on the knees, rolling the shoulders back and down away from the ears, extending the neck all the way, tucking it slightly down towards the chest. And from here, we're just going to start off by closing down the eyes, just coming to the breath, observing the body, taking a moment just to check in. Notice how it feels to stay here, seated with the spine straight. For some of you, it might be a little tough, but I welcome you to stay here, challenge yourself, keeping the legs crossed. Some deep breaths in and out through the nose. If you're able to relax the face, go for it, the forehead, the eyebrows, the jaw. We're going to gently begin to move the fingers, the toes, and I welcome you to begin to move the head, dropping the chin all the way down and then all the way back. You can use your hands on the knees for support when the head falls back. And down towards the chest. Exaggerate the movement as much as you can. And then, same thing, head tilting to the left and to the right. From one shoulder to the other. Stretching the neck ever so gently. And only if you'd like, you can circle the head all the way around. Some of us find this to be a bit dangerous, to circle the head. So take your time. Start with a small range of motion, and then eventually going all out. The more you feel comfortable, the more you know your body. And same thing towards the other direction. Just beginning to loosen up the neck. When you're ready, come back to center, lifting the head up. We're going to inhale, reach the arms overhead. And from here, drop the right hand, left hand overhead, side bend. Go ahead and circle the left arm all the way around. You can take 3 to 5 circles for each direction, opening up the shoulder, the chest. When you have finished, reach the left hand overhead and bend the elbow, pulling it back into a cactus pose. Inhale, arms overhead, and same thing, pull it back. Last time, inhale, exhale. Inhale, arm overhead, maybe bend the right elbow to go in deeper, and go for the other side. Same thing, left hand drops, right hand overhead. Go ahead and circle the arm back. 3 to 5 circles in both directions, all the way. When you have finished, right hand overhead, bend the elbow for a cactus, and extend once again. Exhale, pull back. Inhale, overhead. This time bending the elbow, going for deeper side bend, except not lifting the hips up. And then coming up to the top, arms overhead. You can watch your palms touch and go for a twist towards the right. Left hand on the right knee. Right hand is behind your back on the floor like a kickstand. Keep it close to the hips, not far out. That way you can keep your back straight on the inhale, extend, grow taller. Exhale, push into the knee, twist, gaze back. Again, inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, twist even more. Drop that right shoulder if you can. Inhale, last time, inhale. Exhale, twisting deeper. Inhale, gaze forward, arms overhead. Exhale to the left, same thing. Extending the spine, deep breath in. Exhale, lowering the left shoulder, gaze back. Inhale, extend. Exhale, even further back, twisting, looking back like an owl. They can do a 360 with their neck. And last time, inhale. Exhale, push into the knee. And inhale, arms overhead. From there, we're gonna walk the hands forward, lower the forehead. Go for a little fold. If you need, you can always place a block under the forehead like this. Beginning to stretch out the hips, the lower back. 2 more breaths. Last one. And inhale, rise up. We'll switch legs. And from here, we'll do the same thing, folding down. Option to use that block once again. Notice how it feels on this side. Deep breaths. And the last one. Inhale, rise up. You can put the block out to the side for now. And from here, we'll place our hands behind the back. You can bend your knees like this. You're gonna apply pressure into the big toes and the heels, lifting up for reverse tabletop. Release the glutes. Relax all the way, head falls back. Option to extend the legs and do a reverse plank. Lifting the hips up, open the chest, not dumping into the shoulders. Exhale, lower down. Once again, rising up. Exhale down. And last time, you can try different variations. Lift up. Exhale down. From here, we'll cross our legs, place the hands forward, and pop up into a tabletop position. If this is your first class of the day, go ahead and we're gonna warm up the wrists. You can roll your wrists. Another really beautiful option, which we're gonna do right now together, is placing weight onto your hands. Knees are below the hips, and we'll just create some circles around the wrists. Towards one direction, applying weight onto the fingertips, and then towards the other. I do about 3 circles each. That's usually enough for me to warm up. And then we'll place the tops of the hands on the mat, one at a time, or you can do both at the same time. Pushing into the mat. And release. From here, lower back onto the heels, roll your wrists. This is super important because when we go into our wheel, into our deeper back bends, you need to have enough strength into your wrist to really push yourself up. So your wrist warm up is actually really crucial. Option to circle the wrists in an infinity sign, figure 8. And release, shake it out. This is my favorite part. When you guys are ready, come up onto the knees. We'll place our hands on the lower back. So make sure that the hips are stacked directly over the knees. From here, we'll be pushing our hands into the lower back. Hips move forward. We open up the chest. Head falls back. Release the lower back. This is called camel prep. Open up the shoulders, the chest, stretch your neck. Chin to chest and rise up. From here, we're going to go again. Pushing those hips forward, camel prep. And rise back up. To help you, you can always place your hands just under the hip bones, apply weight onto the legs, and then release the lower back. You can shimmy your shoulders side to side, just move them, and then rise back up. That helps to create a really deep release in your lower back. We'll go again. Camel prep. You can have your hands on your lower back, or this time, if you'd like, you can reach for the heel in the back or the ankle, left hand or right hand overhead. Open up the chest. Continue to push those hips forward. And gently rise back up. Same thing other side. You can keep your hands on your back or one hand towards the right ankle or heel. Open up the chest, head falls back. And chin to chest, rising up. Once again, if you need to apply pressure on your legs, push those hips back, go for it. And rise back up. This time, go for any of those variations or go all the way back for camel pose. Grabbing for the heels, opening up the chest, hips move forward. Relax the neck. Chin to chest and rise back up. Take that little break if you need, extending the spine. Come back up onto the knees. And again, this time, there's another variation which I absolutely love, and it helps the spine as well, not just the belly opening up. So what you can do is you can grab one heel in the back, the other arm is overhead, and you drop the hips, begin to circle the arm in front. Go for the other side. Grab the opposite ankle, left hand overhead this time, pushing the hips forward, opening up the chest. And you can continue just like that, moving towards one direction and then the other. Maybe grab both heels for camel prep and continue on that direction. Keep going, allowing for it to be as fluid as possible. You can lower the head, big range of motion, all the way. And last time, all the way around. Opening up the chest, camel prep. And lower down, hands on the thighs, extending the lower back. You can drop down onto the heels, walk those hands forward, knees together to help your lower back, and lower down, child's pose all the way. Deep breaths. When you're ready, come back up. We'll go into a tabletop position and move into cat-cow. We just did a lot more than the cat-cow, but we are going to go for a little twist and then go deeper into our back bends. So when you're ready, into your tabletop. You're going to push into the mat, round your spine, release the neck, gaze past the legs or towards your belly button. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze up, tailbone points towards the ceiling. Shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, round the spine. Drop the head. Continue. Inhale. Exhale. Keep going on your own for cat-cows. Every time your head lifts up, It's the inhale every time your head lowers. It's the exhale. Really protrude your spine. Open up the muscles in your back. And if you'd like, you can start creating some circles of the back in one direction, using cat-cow. Circling the hips, the spine, the neck, all the way around and towards the other direction. Eventually come back to center. And the first option is staying here on the knees. We're gonna go for thread the needle. Inhale, right hand extends up. Exhale to the left. We'll lower down onto the right ear. Left hand can go overhead or behind your back. A deeper option, if you would like, is to extend the left leg out first. Inhale, right hand up. Exhale to the left. Then you do thread the needle all the way. Exhale, lower the left hand. Inhale, right hand reaches up. Exhale down. We'll go for the other side. If your leg is extended, keep it extended. We'll inhale, left hand up. Exhale to the right. Right hand extends overhead or behind your back. Stay here. Deep breath in. Exhale, right hand lowers. Inhale, left hand reaches up. Exhale down. We'll do the same thing with the other side. If your knees are on the mat, you can go again one more time. This time, inhale, left hand reaches up. Exhale to the right. Lower onto the shoulder. Right hand overhead or behind your back. Relax the neck. 3 deep breaths. Deep breath in. Exhale, right hand lowers. Inhale, left hand reaches up. Same thing with the other arm. Inhale, right hand reaches up. Exhale to the left. 3 breaths. Choice with your arms is up to you. Exhale, left hand lowers. Inhale, right hand towards the ceiling. Exhale down. From here, knees stay on the mat. We'll rise up into a camel pose once again. This time, if you feel comfortable, you can keep the hands on the lower back, the heels, or even the floor, opening up the chest. And if you feel even more flexible than that, you can place your hands together, create some finger guns, arms overhead, open up the chest. Once again, it's very important you push the hips forward first, and then the rest of the body will follow. Deep back bend. Maybe your hands are lower down towards the mat. You can also inch the hands higher and higher up towards the feet. And gently release. Rising back up. Hands on your thighs, push the hips down. Move your shoulders side to side. Bring your knees together to help your lower back. Child's pose once again. Lower the forehead. When you're ready, rise into tabletop. And from here, we're gonna help our hips, our lower back. We'll start creating some spinal waves. You can drop the hips, gaze forward, open up the shoulders, the chest, and gaze back at the heels to one side, to the other, all the way. Eventually pushing back, child's pose, and again, spinal wave towards the front. Release the back, and you can start creating these spinal waves more and more fluid. where you continue to move, where there's no moment where you stop. There's no stillness. Keeps going like a wave. And eventually you can also start to bring the hips to the side, towards the front, the side, and back, releasing more and more. Take a little moment to freestyle, listen to the body, move those hips, the spine. Maybe you continue with cat-cow, allowing for full fluidity. Eventually, we'll curl our toes underneath, lift the hips, pedal out the feet, bending one knee at a time. And finding some stillness in down dog, pushing the palms into the mat, shoulders away from the ears. We're gazing past the knees or towards the belly button. Your heels don't have to touch the mat. You can bend the knees as well to help push those hips up towards the ceiling, keeping the spine straight. With time, your heels will lower down. The more you practice, the more flexibility you gain. From here, we're going to inhale, reach the right leg up. Bend the knee, open the hip, knee to the right elbow, high plank. We're going to create some strength in the abs, and to the left elbow, hold it here. From here, drop the knee towards the middle of the mat, swivel the foot out, left hand overhead. And over towards the back of the mat, turn your toes towards the back, and right hand overhead, side bend. Right hand drops, and from here we'll drop the left hand, move onto the outer edge of the left foot into a side plank. Continue to push those hips up. If you'd like, you can lift the leg up, maybe a tree pose, or grabbing the big toe for a bind. When you're ready, drop the foot behind for a wild thing. Push into both heels. Open up the chest. Gaze back, release the neck. And lower down and back to three-legged dog at the top. Change legs. Left hand or left leg reaches all the way up. And knee to left elbow, hold it here. Engage the core. To the right elbow, hold it. And then drop the knee, swivel the foot out, gate pose. And towards the back of the mat, left hand overhead, big side bend. And back to the top of the mat, lift that right heel and stack your legs, side plank. Engage the core. We're doing abs as well because sometimes we get too much flexibility in the lower back, and we need to counteract to find that strength. So we're not too flexible that we lose our muscle and our core strength. Exhale, lower down. Three-legged dog. And down dog. Hold it here. Shake out your head. Inhale, lift the heels, gaze forward. Exhale, walk or hop into a seated position. From here, we're going to lower down all the way onto the back. All the way like this. From here, I welcome you to take bridge pose if you would like. That's the first option. That would be hands to each side, toes turned inwards towards the center, heels are out. And from here, you should be able to touch your heels.
You should be able to have them under the knees directly. So if they're more like this, where the knees are further in front of the heels, then that would actually be painful for your legs. It would be bad for your bones. So make sure that they're stacked. You can still touch them from here. And then you begin to drive into the big toes, into the heels, lifting up. Lifting the hips, ballooning your chest towards the chin. Relax the glutes. Option for the hands on the floor, clasped together towards the heels, or even under the glutes as support to lift your legs or your hips up. Whatever you choose, stay here. 3 deep breaths. And last one. Exhale, release. Lowering back down, knees towards the chest. Hug your legs, curl in. We'll go again, second time. Once again, curling or bringing the toes in towards the center, heels out. Shimmy the shoulders underneath and rise up. Bridge pose. If you'd like to go deeper, you can place your hands to each side of the head and rise all the way up into your wheel pose. Shifting your weight forward so that my knees are not bent too much in the back. You're still pushing into the hands, leaning forward. And release all the way down. You can bring your knees together, hug and curl in once again. Take a little breather, roll side to side, massage your back. And we'll go for a third and final time. You can choose between those 2 options again. Go for it. Rise all the way up. Make sure the feet and hands are in the right places first, and then rise up. Deep breath in to start. Rise up on the exhale. If you're more flexible than this, you can always lower down onto the elbows. Open up the chest, gaze between the arms. And lower down when you're ready. Knees together, hug in. Beautiful job. That was the hardest part of the class so far. And we are going to go just for some gentle spinal twists before we end. Phenomenal job. All you got to do is bring the knees together. Let the legs fall to the left. Gaze is to the right. If you'd like some support, you can always bring your knees or your block under the knees, just like this. For your twist, another option is wrapping the leg fully around for the twist to go in deeper. You can always place a hand on the knees as well for a bit of weight. And take your deep breaths. Feel free to stay longer. Otherwise, we're just going to move to the other side briefly. Knees together, option to switch those blocks. Knees fall to the right, gaze falls to the left, option to wrap the legs. Option for the hand on the knee. And when you're ready, come back to center. Knees together. Grab your big toes or the outsides of your feet. Lift the heels up. Keep your spine and your hips as aligned as possible, meaning you're not lifting your hips up like this. You're staying down, relaxing as much as possible. Chin towards your chest. Option to extend the legs one at a time. It's funny that my
voice changes as soon as I lose my air from these back bends. It's hilarious, actually. Maybe you do both legs at the same time. And when you're ready, we can lower down, bring the heels out, toes in for easy resting pose. That means the knees are touching. If not, bring your feet a little closer together. Tuck your tailbone underneath. Find some softness. And if you'd like to stop and finish in Shavasana, you can do that like this, corpse pose. Feel free to pause the video here. Otherwise, we're just going to end it here. Gently rising up, knees towards the chest. And I welcome you, I invite you to roll along the spine until you can come up to seated, gazing forward, crossing your legs, hands in prayer with the straight back. Thank you so, so much. Namaste.